The New York Times is reaching out beyond New York. This week, it renamed and relaunched the International Herald Tribune. That newspaper is now called the International New York Times. Together, they print in more than 30 countries with more than 1,100 journalists. This year, the Times won 4 Pulitzers under the leadership of Jill Abramson. She is the Times' first female executive editor. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlie. It's great to see you.
So if I look at the New York Times today, and there has been changes from editor to editor to editor, you know, from Rosenthal and to Max Frankel and to Bill Keller and then to you. Where is the Abramson imprint on the New York Times?
Well, the Abramson imprint, I hope, will be part of going global and basically integrating our entire newsroom so that we are covering the news in the time zone that the news is happening, and you know, handing off now. You were giving the litany of very distinguished gentlemen that I followed, but now my handoff is Paris and Hong Kong and around the world. So, you know, it's really thrilling for me to be in the position of leading a 24/7 truly global quality news organization.
Jill, you've talked about not covering politics like they cover sports with a winning and losing. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think what I mean by that is has been on display for the past 2 weeks with the government shutdown, that it's been constantly, day after day, broadly in the media, who won, who lost, and you know, nobody won, and unfortunately, we know who lost.
But was that a criticism of some of your competitors, like Politico?
Well, you know, I think Politico does some high-quality work, so it wasn't targeted at any particular news organization. That's been that horse race-y, who's up or who's down, has been a strain of political reporting, certainly for as long as I've been in the trade, and certainly, Nora, while you've been doing it.
No doubt, and we're guilty of it sometimes on television as well. Let me ask you, though, about this administration's crackdown on leaks. David Sanger, of course, one of your best reporters in Washington, said of this White House that this is the most closed, control-freak administration I have ever covered. Has it been that difficult?
It has been really difficult.
Worse
All
than the
of
Bush
our national security. Yeah, I was Washington bureau chief during the Bush administration, and that was not necessarily a completely open administration, to say the least. But the Obama administration has initiated 7 criminal leak investigations.
So you're saying the Obama administration is worse than the Bush administration?
It's demonstrable because these 7 leak investigations are more than double all of the criminal leak investigations in all administrations before the Obama administration. And it puts a chill on what is really a healthy discourse between journalists and their sources, and it's our sources who mainly risk going to prison.
Well, explain that then, because James Risen has a piece today. He's got this extensive interview with Edward Snowden, who polls suggest many Americans find him to be, you know, guilty of leaking a lot of national security secrets. What do you think about in your mind about whether this serves the public interest to publish some of those national security secrets?
I think it is very much in the public interest, and if a war on terrorism is being waged in the name of the people, I think, would the people rather not know about the dimensions of it and what's involved? I just don't think so. I think the work of great journalism is to inform the public. And that's what we're doing. And people forget that the founders of our country were deathly afraid of too much centralized power. That's why the First Amendment is first.
Do you believe the central point that Snowden is trying to make here? I did not give any secrets to China. I took none of that to Russia when I went to Russia.
There is no evidence that he did, and he says he didn't. And at this point, you know, without knowing specifics of people in those countries getting into his computer. He takes extraordinary measures to protect his communication and whatever is on his computer. So I do believe it.
It's a good story.
It is a great story.
Congratulations on the new. We've got the premiere copy of the International.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I know. This is one of Charlie's favorite papers as well. Nice to see you, Jill.
Thank you so much.